It's time for Redskins game time. We're at MetLife Stadium tonight as the Redskins take on the New York Giants at 8:25. I'm Larry Michael, along with Redskins.com's Andrew Walker. And we'll step right to it, Andrew. We've got the inactives for tonight's game. And as usual, we get them before everybody else. So why don't you give it a look? Let us know who's inactive tonight. I know one guy is going to be inactive. Is going to be Deshaun Jackson, continuing to recover from that hamstring injury. He hopes to be back very soon. So who else is on the inactive list?
Full list: Robert Griffin III, Deshaun Jackson, as you mentioned, Justin Rogers, Perry Riley Jr., which we'll talk about here, Spencer Long, Frank Kearse, and Ari Kwanjo.
Well, there you go. Those are the inactives for the Redskins. And talk about Perry Riley Jr. Now, the Redskins did bring Terrence Plummer up. Martrell Spate put on injury reserve earlier this week. But because Perry Riley being injured and being down, the Redskins only have 3 inside linebackers against a team that had a tight end that did some damage against them last year.
Yeah, Larry Donnell with those 3 first-half touchdowns last season at FedEx Field. And, I watched those this morning, and one was on the linebacker, one was on a safety, one was on a cornerback. So, it's not like the blame's on one position, but it is going to be huge for those 3 inside backers who also all play on special teams to keep it together, keep their focus on, the whole game. And Terrence Plummer, you got to be ready to go at any time. And, he played pretty well in special teams. He had one penalty, but it was during that punt sequence where there was seemingly 30 punts for one play. But he played pretty well for a rookie, and I know they're excited about him.
Redskins 1-1, and the Giants are 0-2. Giants come in after giving up 2 games, really. Week 1, lost to the Cowboys after leading. Last week, lost to the Falcons 24-20 after leading 20-10. So the Giants, obviously, probably the more desperate team here tonight.
Yeah, and, what a difference a week makes. If you're the Redskins about a week ago before that Rams game, if you weren't at the facility, the world was falling. But then they beat the Rams and do it in convincing fashion. And now everyone's saying, hey, maybe they're the NFC East favorites. But the Giants, yes, they're not doing so well closing out games. And, that's good if you're the Redskins. You want to come in here and you want to set the tone from the start and not even give them a chance, so that they have a fourth quarter lead that they need to blow. You want to blow them out from the beginning.
The Redskins come into this game rated number 1 in the league rushing the football. Obviously, the first game of this week happens today. We'll see how they do. The defense also rated number 1. So let's take a look at those 2 factors before I tee you up for your keys to the game. Redskins ground game last week, Matt Jones did it. The week before, Alfred Morris did it. Now, only 1 win out of those 2 games. I really think this Redskins team thinks they should have beaten Miami. Maybe didn't get enough out of a couple of places to be able to beat the Dolphins, one that got away. But the formula last week, strong running game, strong defense, minimizing mistakes. Kirk Cousins almost perfect in that game. I think that's a formula that the Redskins are going to rely on all year. What do you think?
Right, that's a perfect formula for success for this team. I mean, when Kirk Cousins is as efficient as he is, making the passes when he needs to, when you have Alfred Morris and Matt Jones, who was named FedEx Ground Player of the Week this week in the NFL, running the ball like he was for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he was just a monster. So that was awesome to see. Then the defense swarming to the ball, causing a lot of incompletions, swarming to the quarterback. It's exactly what I think everyone envisioned when this team was being built. So they got to keep that going, though. It's good. It's positive to see after 2 weeks. Got to keep it going and see how it does here in the division.
Let's focus on Kirk Cousins real quick before we talk about the Redskins defense. 23 of 27 last week. He's about a 75% completion percentage, a 91 quarterback rating. But, Redskins probably going to look for more points out of the offense here tonight. And, the Giants know that the Redskins are going to want to run the football, which could refer back to Kirk Cousins needing to make some plays tonight.
Right. They didn't take many deep attempts last week against the Rams or on Sunday against the Rams. Same week, so just 4 days later. But, maybe Rashad Ross becomes more of a factor tonight. Maybe a guy like Crowder becomes more of a factor, but they got that 35-yard pass to Ryan Grant last week. That was a good positive sign, a great play by Kirk and Ryan Grant there. But yeah, you'd think they'd maybe take a few more deep shots. The Giants are going to go for theirs with Odell Beckham, so it could turn out to be pretty exciting if Kirk has his shots down the field.
Absolutely beautiful night here in New Jersey, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Temperatures expected in the mid to low 70s. Not a whole lot of breeze. It's going to be a perfect night for football. Obviously, artificial surface here is what the Giants play on at MetLife Stadium. To the Redskins defense now. The defense outstanding. I think that's taken a lot of people by surprise. Even though they're a little thin at the inside linebacker position, they do get Chris Culliver back tonight after that 1-game suspension, and earlier this week, the releasing of David Amerson. So things have kind of settled in. Justin Rogers, you talked about him. You've got Culliver back. You got Breland, who played Odell Beckham halfway tight last year, but, everybody knows they're going to Beckham.
Right.
The other wide receiver, Victor Cruz, will not play here tonight. He suffered a calf injury during training camp. He is yet to recover. And the number 2 receiver, Preston Parker, was cut this week, which was a big surprise, I thought.
Right. And, when you look at the Redskins secondary, this is really the first time all season that their top 3 guys, when you talk about Culliver, when you talk about Breland, when you talk about Hall, are going to be together on the field at the same time. Some had their injury issues, suspensions and what have you. So it's the first time they're going to get the chance to play together. I'm really excited to see what they can do together. But they did a great job last week against some weapons on the Rams. Tavon Austin pretty much limited him. So, Beckham, he's going to get his numbers, but hopefully it's not in the end zone. Hopefully it's just in the middle of the field, maybe down the sideline, nothing in the end zone.
And the Redskins' defensive line, I think, really becoming a strength, the heart and soul of the team. As much as the offensive line has been credited, you've got some young guys on that side of the football. Defensive line is full of veterans, and I think that has become the heart and soul of the team. And they've gotten to the quarterback, like we say, without having to blitz. All right, Andrew, we have teed you up beautifully for your keys to the game here tonight.
Well, obviously you got to get pressure on Eli Manning. That's number 1. If you can confuse him, get pressure on him. I see Ryan Kerrigan having a big game. He has half a sack through 2 games, but he was a factor in both games. So I see him breaking free for 1-2 sacks today, and Preston Smith continuing strong. Trent Murphy getting to the quarterback. Terrence Knight's done a great job, plugging up holes for those linebackers too. Number 2, you got to contain Beckham. We talked about that. He's really, really good. He's probably going to get his numbers. We got to contain him. Number 3, time of possession. Redskins are number 2 in the NFL in time of possession. That's because of their strong run game. You got to continue that. And number 4 is the field position game. Last week, the Redskins took a big step forward with Dustin Hopkins kicking the ball out of the end zone on those kickoffs. But the Giants are really good at the field position game. That's the one thing they're really good at this season so far. So you have to win those battles, the time of possession, and those are the little things that all add up to a big win.
A reminder, next game's a home game for the Redskins on October the 4th against Philadelphia Eagles. And this program, the pregame show, Redskins Game Time Live, will originate from a new location. Going to originate right outside the Redskins Bank of America gate. And, in fact, fans will be able to come by and see us, heckle us if they want, if you will. And so we'll look forward to seeing you right inside the Bank of America gate. There's an area inside FedEx Field overlooking the lower concourse, a little bit above the concourse that we're going to be doing this show from starting next week at 11:15 at FedEx Field, so we want to see you there. Andrew, I think this shapes up as an interesting matchup. The Redskins have lost 4 in a row to the New York Giants. Redskins seem to be building confidence, but I don't think they can be overconfident coming to this game. I mean, in the span of the week, because of what happened to Philadelphia, 0-2, Giants 0-2, injuries to Romo and Des Bryant, all of a sudden, this game becomes a very big early season game for this team.
Yeah, good things don't really happen here for the Redskins, but there's a good vibe heading in for this team heading into this game, and the Giants are a little down, and the Redskins want to take advantage of that. But like you said, it's not like the Giants are a team you can overlook. It's a division rival. They've played pretty well the first couple weeks and then just blown leads. So they're really going to have the Redskins have their work cut out for them. It's their first road game. I'm interested to see how they respond to the road atmosphere.
All right, for Andrew Walker, I'm Larry Michael. We appreciate you checking in with us here at MetLife Stadium. Don't forget, kickoff 8:25. Check out Andrew Walker on Redskins.com and all the Redskins social platforms. I'll talk to you on ESPN 980 with the kickoff. Hall of Famer Sonny Jurgensen, Chris Cooley, Rick Doc Walker, all set for kickoff tonight, the 167th meeting between the Redskins and Giants, going back to 1932. Now, that's going a long way back. Redskins looking at tonight, hoping to go home 2-1.
Yeah, and we'll see here again, road test. Really excited to see what this team can do. They can build off a win if they can get one and see where they go from here.
All right, for Andrew Walker, I'm Larry Michael. Thank you for checking in with us. Enjoy the ball game.